Good morning there. Hey, I wanted to do a 5 minute with you today, a strategy session. I know that your fall season is about to kick off, especially if you're in youth ministry, school's ramping up, and you're thinking strategy. And so I wanted to really get you thinking today about what you're doing and how can you grow in 2011-2012 school year, right? Because you probably are a little refreshed, or maybe you're just recovering from camp. Maybe things are crazy, but you have hopes and you have dreams that this year will be different and it'll be better. So let's kick it off. I just want to give you a few things to think about in this 5 minute strategy session. Okay, so what we have here, of course, is your ministry. Okay, your ministry is, we'll call it the box. Okay, and that's the thing that you work on. That's Wednesday nights, Sunday mornings. That's your ministry, and you love it, and you were probably raised going to it, and kids come to it, and lives are changed, and you love your ministry box. Now, the problem there is that if you were to total everyone up in your community, all the high school and middle schoolers that live in your community, and you were to divide it by the population of students in your, let's say your school district or whoever who's within your church's reach, you'll discover pretty quickly that there might be, on a really good day, like when you're counting, when you're really doing well in any given week, and all the youth ministries in your community, maybe 5% of students will be attending a youth group. 5%. And that's okay. That's okay. But we want to do better. We believe that the good news of Jesus Christ applies to all, and we need a strategy that at least engages with more than 5%. Right? And so what I want you to think about this year, and I don't want you to be depressed by that reality, by the way. I want you to be kind of, just let's frame that 5% a little bit. Okay? And so when you're doing youth group, understand this, that the way that you're doing ministry is a box, and that box has relational capacity. Okay? So maybe, maybe the long story short is, because we're trying to be quick here in the 5 minutes, is that the way that you're currently doing ministry, the mode that you're using, whatever it is only going to reach that same 5% box, okay? Because there's relational capacities that fit within that box. It's limited by resources, it's limited by stuff. Okay, so if you want a strategy that's going to reach beyond the 5%, you can't just ignore what you're currently doing or throw it all away. Those 5% are super important, but you do need to recognize this, okay? Because there's a lot of people in this profession that are hurting. Okay, understand this, that the 5% strategy is going to end in pain. Okay, and I used a unicycle there, not to humiliate my friends in youth ministry, because whatever, just to symbolize, the current way that we do programming is oftentimes, we're going to play a game, we're going to sing some songs, we're going to listen to a talk, and there's going to be a Sunday school moment, and there's going to be a small group and things like that. That's all that means. So that 5%, if we're really honest, the people who are paying you, right, they're not satisfied with that 5%. And at the end of the day, that's going to end in pain. Okay, just look at what's happened in the last 5 years in our profession, and you will see that strategy, that 5%, just keep that 5, maybe I can grow it to 6, that's not enough. Okay, that will end in pain. And so what I want you to think is this box. I want you to convert this box to open hands. Okay, and so that's what I want you to look at. Let's think about, and I'm not going to tell you how to do this, I'm kind of teasing you a little bit. Let's think about opening your hands. And let's think about not just the 5% of students in our community who are engaged in our ministry or in any of the ministries in our community. Let's start to think about how can we actually reach the other 95%. And the starting point there, because I only got a minute, is this. Okay, the starting question that I want you to whiteboard this out and answer this question is, who are the people who actually love those other 95%? Not like who thinks about them or who talks about loving them, but who are the people that are actually actively loving those people? Okay, because I think, and this is the strategy I want to introduce to you, I'm not going to tell you how to do it, I only have 30 seconds left, but I think that if you do that, you'll start to see this come to life. Okay, you might start to see that your ministry isn't really just about that 5% box that you're spending a lot of time in. Think about how can you connect the dots amongst the Christians that already are loving the other 95% of students. Because it's not a problem of access, it's a problem of strategy. The gospel of Jesus Christ is open to all.